Back at it, y'all boys. Been a little minute, man, but I'm back at it, man. I'm back at it. I'm just coming up off a hiking trip this past weekend. We actually went to Tallulah Falls State Park. Went out there and did a 2-mile hike, 80% rocks and boulders. It took us about 5 hours to complete it. Had to go down into the gorge. Had to cross the river, then climb back up. That was my first time hiking, man, and it was a transformative experience, man. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my resolve. I was able to clear my mind. Some things that were nagging me, I was able to reconcile those things while on the hike, just appreciating nature and, just developing camaraderie with the people that I went with. It was a pretty different experience, man. I learned a lot socially, man. I saw so many couples and just groups of people out there just bonding with each other in what is otherwise a pretty difficult situation, man. So I just learned how you can really foster and cultivate a relationship through going through something difficult like that, something physically, emotionally, and mentally draining and taxing as hiking is. I look forward to doing it again, man. It was a crazy experience, man. And it's crazy because I didn't even want to go on a trip at first. I was like, I don't really feel like going. I got to sit in the car 4 hours with these people, man. I ain't really too much trying to do that. But I'm glad I changed my mind and decided on going because I really needed that, man. Sometimes you just got to, like I said, sometimes you get so laser focused on the goal and on just trying to grind that shit just builds up, man. Stress just builds up. The losses that you took, it's just building up. The pain, the rejection, all of that is just building up, man. Sometimes you got to be able to just, disconnect, disengage, and be able to just be alone, You need that stillness of nature. You need to be able to just exist and just let everything go. Create yourself a brand new slate so you can get right back to the grind with a renewed focus, a renewed mind. It's just like a computer, man. You might have an uptime of 2 weeks. You got so many processes and services running, man. It's just, like I said, it's bogging down the system. It's hogging the resources. You reboot that machine. You run some updates on it. Now you got a clean start. Now you see that everything is running more efficiently. It's running a little bit more faster now because you done dumped all of the resources that you weren't using. You done ended all the services that you weren't necessarily using at the moment. So it's just a process of getting back to it. But while I was up there in the mountains and down in the gorge, I just thought about how simple life can be. Life is very simple. It's just a matter of discovering what your purpose is and remaining disciplined. Not getting caught up in all the minutia. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of trying to appease people and appeal to people that otherwise don't really care about you. It's a lot of trying to keep up with people and keep up an appearance. But the longer you do that, the more likely you are to crash out. And once you crash out, you'll be forever playing behind the 8 ball, trying to play catch up. We want to avoid playing catch up by all costs, man. You don't want to be 30 feeling like you got to rush in order to catch up because you felt like you fell behind in life. We want to be ahead of the curve at all times, man. We're not trying to be like everybody else, meandering and trying to figure it out after we done crashed and burned. That's not what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to be on point. We're trying to be 10 toes down, man. We're trying to pivot and go straight to the basket, man. We're not trying to pick up our dribble in the double team. We're not trying to do that, man. We are not trying to do that, man. So I took that time up in the mountains and in the gorge to just self-reflect, strengthen my discipline, strengthen my resolve, and again, just get focused again on my purpose. I was really able to see what's important in life. And again, I already knew what was important, but being up there in the mountains, it just made me realize that, damn, bro, I'm really vulnerable right now, man. I'm slipping down these rocks, man. Like at any moment, if I take a wrong step, I could tumble down these rocks and it could be over with for your boy, man. I was thinking about that at all times, man. Like I said, being aware of your mortality, it just does something to you, man. And yeah, it's a little bit frightening, but at the same time, it's very exhilarating, man. I feel alive right now, man. It's adrenaline rush, and it's good for your neuroplasticity, man. Like it takes a lot of brain power to be able to hike. You gotta make quick calculations on where you're going to step next. You got to maintain your balance. You got to have your sense of proprioception. You got to have all of these things to be able to hike effectively, man. And you got to be able to conserve your energy and work together as a team. I feel like the lessons that you learn hiking, you can apply to every other facet of your life. Because once you go through a tough situation such as hiking, something that you can't just back out of, once you're down there in that gorge, bro, you got to get back out. Ain't nobody coming to get you unless you call 911. You got to get back out, man. It's symbolic almost, man. Of course, you start at the campground. You go down these rocks. You got to hike down. You're going down thousands, hundreds of metal steps just to get down there, man. It's like a metaphor for life, man. You're going down into this dark place, into this sinkhole, into this abyss. You fell down this crevice. You fell down into the gorge because you was chasing validation. You was chasing recognition. Now you down here in this gorge. Yeah, the gorge is nice. You know, we got a waterfall down here. The water is cool. It feels nice. It's a break from the relentless sun. Yeah, you can spend time down there and enjoy it. You know, that's your enjoyment. That's your pleasure, man. You got you some fine shit down there. You got some milk and honey down there. But guess what? Once you're done doing that, it's time to climb back up. It's time to climb back up. And you know that uphill climb gonna be a little bit tougher. You might need 2 bottles of water to get back up to the top, back to the campground. You got to get back up to that campground, man. You done spent too much time in the gorge, bro. You done spent too much time in the gorge. You lost sight of the goal. We got to get back up to the campground. We got to get back up here. Yeah, you had your little fun down there in the gorge, but man, we got to get back up here. Getting back to the campground is the end goal. It's like I always ask y'all, what is the end goal? The end goal of the hike is to get back to point A. It's to realize what we set out to do. What we set out to do was to complete this hike. We didn't set out to just go down to the gorge and just stay down there. No, sir. No, sir. So you got to remember that in life, man. Of course, when you're on your journey, man, you're gonna feel like you accomplished something, and you're going to take a little bit of time to yourself to just enjoy yourself and have pleasure and do X, Y, and Z. You might buy yourself, you might reward yourself with something. But you can't lose sight of the end goal, man. The job's not finished. The job is not finished, bro. We got to reach that end goal. We got to reach that finish line, man. We got to stack up that 20K, man. That's what it's all about, though, bro. That's what it's all about, man. If you've never been hiking, I do encourage that you go hiking, man. I encourage everybody to do something difficult in their lifetimes, bro. It is a transformative experience. You will learn so much about yourself and other people as you go through that hike. You will. Same thing goes for fighting. Join you a gym, whether that be MMA, jiu-jitsu, boxing, or otherwise. You will learn a lot about yourself, especially if you go in there sparring other people. You will learn how vulnerable you can be, and you can learn how dangerous you can be, and you can learn how to be disciplined, and you can apply that to every other facet of your life. Like I said, man, I learned a lot about myself this weekend. And also, I also did pass my Microsoft Azure AZ900 Fundamentals exam this past week as well. Actually, on past Thursday. And I went down to the gorge on Friday and Saturday. So I felt like me hiking was me being able to release all of the stress and all of the preparation that I did for the exam and for previous endeavors. I was able to just wash all that away on a hike so I can come back the next week and get right back to it, man. It was like a detox almost. You got to be able to take that time away, man. Because if you just stay committed 24/7 on a goal, you're gonna burn out, man. You're gonna burn out and wind up crashing out. We can't do that, man. Like I said, man, we got to make sure that we refine in the process along the way. You got to perform maintenance at some point, man. The machine can't stay well oiled at all times, bro. Sometimes you got to have some downtime. You got to have some downtime so you can apply them patches. There might be some vulnerabilities that have been discovered in the current version of the software, man. You got to be able to patch that, man. We can't have no holes nowhere. We can't, man. We can't. While you going along on this journey, man, you're going to get beat down. You're going to get battered. You're going to get a little vulnerable. You got to withdraw sometimes, man. You got to heal the wounds. You got to salt the wounds and get right back to it, man. You got to get right back to it. In boxing, you're not fighting 12 rounds all at one time, man, you taking a minute break in between rounds. So you can rest, you can catch your breath a little bit. Take you a little swig of water. Then you get right back to it with a little bit more energy. Maybe you was able to think. Maybe you was able to refocus in that corner. Now you going into the next round, moving how you supposed to. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about, man. I just encourage y'all to assess where you at currently in your journey, man. Maybe it's time for you to take a step back and just analyze things for a minute. Maybe you're not as committed as you should be. Or maybe you getting to the point where you feel like you're about to crash out and break down. Maybe it's time for you to withdraw for a little minute, man. Just take you a day or two to rest. It's super necessary, trust me. Trust me. Because resting, that's part of doing the work, man. Just like your body, it can't run days on end. You got to go to sleep at some point, man. You got to rest and recover. Remember that. Remember that, man. And again, man, we still on the same journey, man. I know I ain't spoke to y'all in a little minute, man, but I'm still on the same journey. I'm still on the same goal, man. Still on the same goal. Still plan to deliver y'all quality content. Because I want to see all y'all get to the bag and realize y'all goals, man. We getting closer, man. We getting closer, man. It's only 4 more months left. Winter is coming, man. New Year's is coming. That pop out, we almost ready to pop out, man. Don't lose sight of the goal, man. Again, y'all get in with me, man. You already know where to find me at. Lay to Ruin on all platforms, man. Get in with me. Chop it up with me, man. What we doing?